The Race of Champions Modified Series returning to the Lake Erie Speedway for the first time since 2005. And here they come with their 4-wide salute lap. The Ground Pounders 4 wide at Lake Erie Speedway. Here is your starting lineup on the pole. Darren Shearer in the Traxxas number 3 out of Binghamton. Jimmy Zacharias alongside Matt Hirschman and Darrell Lewis Jr. in row 2. Sam Falone, Kevin Timmerman in row 3. Will Thomas and Tyler Ripkema in row 4. Mike Leedy and Chuck Hosfeld in row 5. Patrick Emmerling, George Score the third in row 6. Brian Sherwood and the Doc Dave Regan in row 7. Then it'll be the Catalanos, Amy and Tommy Catalano, Chris Ridsdale, Andy Jankowiak, John Wilbur, Jody Buckley, Carl Hare, and Kelvin Carroll. Well, ladies and gentlemen, by the grace of God and 600 horsepower, Lake Erie Speedway presents to you, listen for the roar, out of turn 4, here comes the Race of Champions Modified Tour at Lake Erie Speedway. And off into turn 1 and 2 we go. Darren Shearer, Jimmy Zacharias remain side by side while Hirschman and Lewis settle into the 3rd and 4th positions here on the opening lap. They come on down to complete lap number 1. Who's it going to be at the line? Give the nod to Zacharias from the outside front row. But Shearer stays right with him. Shearer slides up the racetrack. Nerf bar contact between he and Zacharias as Zacharias trying to clear Shearer here at the front of the field. Your top 5-6 rows still side by side at the front of the field as Zacharias leads on lap number 2. Now Zacharias clears Shearer as they get into turn number 1. DLJ now, Darrell Lewis Jr. He's been showing a lot of speed on the tour this year. Is up to the 3rd over Matt Hirschman as he is going to try and make it work on the outside while Chuck Hosfeld started 10th. He is now up to 6th already in the 22 car. Hosfeld to the inside of Ripkema, trying to clear him for that 5th position. He knows he's got to keep tabs on that 60 car of Matt Hirschman. Hirschman now probably got the word that the hot shoe's on his tail because he's going to work now on Shearer for 4th. Hirschman down to the inside. They'll go side by side into turn 1. Shearer and Hirschman wheel to wheel. Hosfeld now in 5th, Ripkema 6th, and then it's the brothers-in-law, Will Thomas and George Scora, running in the 6th and 7th positions right now. They are side by side, a pair of former Lake Erie late model track champions. Caution on the speedway over in turn 4. It is Jimmy Zacharias electing to restart on the outside of the front row. Darrell Lewis Jr. will be lined up to the inside, just showing how strong of a 2-lane racetrack this is despite the lack of laps around the speedway in the last couple of years. Side-by-side action throughout the field as we go back to green here out of turn 4. And as we get back into turn 1, Zacharias from that outside pole, but Darrell Lewis Jr. hanging tough. They stay side by side, although Zacharias may clear him here now in turn 3. DLJ battling back on the inside, but no, Zacharias will take the top spot back again. Now the battle is on for 4th as Ripkema feeling the heat from fellow Southern Tier driver Darren Shearer, but now Shearer wobbles into 3. Scora's got it on the inside. George Scora now going to the inside, trying to move into the top 5 for the first time this evening. Will Thomas is fading, and Andy Jankowiak, another name we haven't talked about a lot tonight, he's up to 12th. He started very deep in the field. One of those drivers that had to make the long tow from Monadnock after that event got rained out to be here tonight. They got here at about 5:15 this evening. And Lewis goes for it. Zacharias has trouble on the outside, holds up the outside line as Ripkema runs to the back of him. Lewis to the lead, Hirschman to 2nd. Scora now going to the 3rd spot, and here comes Patrick Emmerling to the inside of Zacharias looking for the 4th position. Zacharias did not get a strong start, but he's trying to make up for it now, trying to remain inside the top 5 as Darrell Lewis Jr. looking to break through for a first career series win. Hirschman runs 2nd. Now Zacharias to the inside of George Scora here down the front straightaway. Zacharias down low on Scora. They make contact through 1 and 2, bouncing off each other's Nerf bars. And Scora gets a little loose. Oh, he drives right into the right rear of Zacharias going into turn 3 that time. These two have gotten their elbows up and are laying thumps on each other here back and forth for that 3rd position now. As Zacharias and Scora still going wheel to wheel. Emmerling back there in the 5th position. Then it's Ripkema and Timmerman and Falone. Now Scora's to the inside of Zacharias as they continue to swap lanes back and forth, and Emmerling now going to try and stick a nose in there as well. Falone to the inside of Ripkema here for the 6th position. And then we've got Ripkema, Falone, Thomas, Timmerman, and Sherwood. The cars that have pitted have still not made their way to catch the leaders. Emmerling now to the inside of Scora as they get into turn 3 and 4. Emmerling looking low on Scora. They'll go Nerf bar to Nerf bar here down the front straightaway. Emmerling this time is the one running the bottom. He slides up, almost making contact with Skora. Zacharias is on the back bumper. Hirschman. Here's Zacharias now to the inside in 1 and 2. Tried to get alongside Hirschman, but came up short. Hirschman will now have to play defense. He'll stay to the outside. He'll leave the low lane open for Zacharias as we click off lap number 49. 26 to go. Zacharias continues to go to work down low. Hirschman trying to keep just enough of the left side down to impede the progress of the 71. Now Zacharias stays on the outside. Skora and Emmerling have caught these guys, by the way. You can throw a blanket over your top 5. And now Will Thomas has resurfaced into the 6th position. Here's Hirschman now, though, looking for the lead off of turn 2. He knows he's got to start to turn up the pressure. He's going for it to the inside. Hirschman alongside Lewis through 3 and 4. Hirschman down on the bottom as they come to the stripe. Lewis still hanging on, but Hirschman is there. Into turn 1, it's Hirschman now down low. Off the corner, Zacharias bobbles as Hirschman goes to the lead. Matt Hirschman has taken the lead here on lap 52. Lewis back to 2nd. Now Patrick Emmerling into 3rd as he clears Zacharias, who bobbled on that last lap. Matt Hirschman quickly pulls away by about 3 car lengths as Emmerling now will set his sights on Lewis for 2nd. Emmerling looking low. Here's Zacharias now trying to reclaim the 3rd position on Emmerling, then Skora and Will Thomas up to the 6th position. Here's Zacharias, bonds out of the bottom. A nice move here if he can clear Emmerling. No, couldn't make it stick on the inside. Emmerling's now boxed in around Lewis and Zacharias gonna benefit as he tries to get back to that 2nd position. Zacharias right down to the bottom. Skora trying to go with him, but now Zacharias pushes up in 2, and Lewis hangs on to that 2nd spot. Zacharias looking down to the inside. Caution on the Speedway. I think he's about to crank this one up as we go back to green with 21 to go. Lewis, Zacharias, Emmerling follow right along here on the restart as Hirschman quickly opens up 2 car lengths. Emmerling going to go to work on Zacharias. Emmerling to the inside of the 71 through 3 and 4. Spinner, Jankowiak, and Hosfeld drives right over the front end. Oh, and then Carl Hare comes in and gets Jankowiak with the left front of the 59. The green flag is back in the air. And Hirschman will take advantage of the single foul restart, try and pull away. Here is Zacharias looking to the inside. He slides it off of turn 2, though, trying to get to the inside of Darrell Lewis Jr. Now Will Thomas starting to turn up the pressure on Emmerling for the 4th position. 19 laps remaining. Hirschman runs that 2nd lane around the racetrack. Lewis behind him. Zacharias trying to make a bid down to the inside. And here's Thomas and Emmerling side by side, and Zacharias making another bid for 2nd down low. Zacharias looking low on Lewis, tries to drop it way down to the inside with a slide job. Car is bottoming out, sparks off the 71 of Zacharias, it looked like from the left rear. Thomas going to go with Zacharias down low. Lewis and Emmerling outside. Look at Will Thomas here trying to make a late run into the top 5. He drops it way down. Zacharias slide job on Lewis, and he'll take back the 2nd position, but now Thomas trying to work his way to the front. Thomas goes bonds out of the bottom into 3 and 4 for 3rd, trying to get alongside Zacharias for 2nd. Will Thomas has come out of nowhere here in the 2nd half of this race to run to the front of the field. He'll look low on Lewis as their nerf bite on the back straightaway. Then he goes hard into turn 3 one more time, trying to clear Zacharias for 2nd. And Matt Hirschman is not running away either. Hirschman is right on the front bumper of Jimmy Zacharias. As here's Thomas sniffing down low. Emmerling is still there in 5th as well. And Thomas again charges hard into turn 3, pulling alongside Zacharias as Zacharias has Hirschman right in front of him. What a battle up front. Thomas continues to work away at Jimmy Zacharias while Matt Hirschman is right on the front bumpers of these 2 guys going at it side by side. Thomas and Zacharias wheel to wheel. They'll swing it off at turn 4. And it's still Zacharias barely hanging on to the 2nd spot with 13 to go. Thomas now gets a great run through 1 and 2. Can he clear Zacharias here down the back straightaway? Here he goes for the lead. Will Thomas to the inside as Hirschman pushes up. Here's Thomas down low out of turn 4. They're side by side for the lead as they go back into turn 1 on lap 64. Thomas now rolls through the corner down the back straightaway. Will Thomas takes the lead at his home track, Lake Erie Speedway. Can he make it stick, though? Can he hang on for 11 more laps? The hometown fans cheer on Will Thomas here with 11 laps remaining. Zacharias and Hirschman now. They lay the Nerf bars to each other through 1 and 2, and Hirschman will lose 2 spots in the process. Thomas, your leader with 10 laps to go. Jimmy Zacharias 2nd, Emmerling 3rd. Hirschman now back to 4th. And how about Brian Sherwood here having a good night, trying to clear Sam Falone for the number 6 spot. Thomas will lead him down the front straightaway with 8 laps remaining. Thomas, Emmerling, Zacharias still your top 3. The car has gone away from Matt Hirschman as he runs in 4th. Lewis in 5th, while Sherwood and Falone go at it for 6th position here still. Sherwood downstairs on Falone here off of turn 4 as both cars come up on Darrell Lewis Jr. Emmerling within a car length now through 1 and 2 as he's pushing as hard as he can. But Thomas has a lot of straightaway speed. Here's Emmerling closing in within a car length. The white flag is in the air for Will Thomas and Patrick Emmerling. Thomas set sail into turn 1 for the final time. Emmerling draws up, but Thomas smooth through 1 and 2. Final time down the backstretch into 3 and 4. He was a 3-time late model track champion. It's a hometown win for Will Thomas at Lake Erie Speedway. Emmerling will finish 2nd. Zacharias for 3rd. Here's a great battle for 4th. It'll be Hirschman, Sherwood, Scora, Lewis, Timmerman, Falone, Ripkema, Leedy, Catalano, Wilbur, Shearer, Hosfeld, Carroll, Jankowiak, Buckley, and Risdale. Dave Buchanan here in Lake Erie Speedway Victory Lane with a very happy Will Thomas as he returns home to get a win here with the Race of Champions Modified Series. And Will, I got to start out asking you were fading there around the midpoint, but all of a sudden there you were up with the leaders once again. You came out of nowhere really today. It was an amazing job by you.
My car was really free early on, and I just tried to do everything I could to keep it underneath me a little bit. And I haven't really driven these cars much. This is the 3rd time we sat in one. And it just kind of, I wanted to make sure I kept my right rear underneath me, and it was just loose. And we just kept wheeling front brake in, and Roundman was yelling at me on the radio, "Come on, man, dig that thing, dig it, let's go." And we just kept going, had a couple of restarts that helped out, got us up there in the top 5. And then I saw Matty and those guys slipping a little bit, and to be honest with you, when I got to 3rd, I was like, well, hell, this ain't gonna be too bad, you know. And then we just kept gaining ground, and I'm just really excited.
Those last few laps, you had the 07, of course, of Patrick Emmerling chasing you down. He's been so hot this year. Were you worried about him catching you in those last few laps?
Damn right I was. You betcha I was. I've kind of watched Pat. Pat started a little bit towards the tail end of my late model career. And, you read his name in the newspaper a lot, and he runs he's been on fire this year. He's run real well in these cars, and he's just definitely him and Chuck and I mean, Matt Hirschman, they call him Money Matt for a reason. I mean, those guys are really, really good, and to be able to grace the Race of Champions win list, to put my name next to theirs means a lot.
Lastly, talk about coming back home here to Lake Erie Speedway. The fans were on their feet watching you come to the front tonight. I'm sure it feels good to get some home cooking with this win.
It definitely does. I mean, this is a beautiful place. The Preshak family's done a great job with this facility, and since we switched and started dirt racing, we enjoy that, and you get to go a bunch of different places. And I've always told everybody, I was like, you think that place nice, you ought to go up and see Lake Erie Speedway. We were blessed to race here for a lot of years, and we were fortunate enough to experience a little bit of success here, and just need to come back home and get a win here.
A hometown victory for Will Thomas here at Lake Erie Speedway with the Race of Champions Modified Series.